Greetings, everybody, and welcome. Thank you all very much for coming to join me for one more day before I leave for Boston. One more day of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. How is everybody holding up today? How are you all doing? I hope all is well for all of you at this juncture. No problem, Sugar Crow. Great to see you. Thank you for stopping in. I hope you have a good lurk. Hello, Mycomancer. Well, Neffy, it's definitely not me. I plan to, D-Schlemp. My family is really good about that, generally. Usually, well, for the past, God, as long as I can remember, probably ever since I was about 7 or 8. Ever since about that time, we've always gone to visit one of my cousins, who is... she's basically a kind of a matriarch of the family, and she has everything... Either she prepares stuff herself, or what she doesn't have prepared, she has catered. And they do a really good job. They have a fair variety. They have some traditional Jewish staples, as well as traditional, like, American Thanksgiving staples. Turkey, obviously, and stuffing and whatnot, but also some other just miscellaneous stuff. Plus, D-Schlemp, I plan on visiting some restaurants while I'm there. I'm going to be in Boston for, I want to say 3 days. I'm not 100% sure on that, because it's my mother who plans all of that. I just, I set aside a certain number of days to spend in America, and then my mother makes all of the arrangements for how long we're actually going to be in Boston. So I think it's 3 days. I think it'll be 2 nights, 3 days. And I plan to do... hopefully a little bit of filming there. I hope to do another couple of episodes of fine dining on restaurants I've wanted to cover in the area for some time. But, one way or the other, I plan to eat reasonably well. Thank you, D. Welcome back, Alex, and thank you again for relaying that message for me. Yeah, Neffy, I know the feeling. I'm a dork? I mean, you're not wrong, Neffy, but for what particular reason do you make that observation? Not specifically giblet gravy, D. That's more of a Southern tradition, Southern American, whereas pretty nearly my entire family lives on the northern East Coast, around the Boston, New York area. Oh, gotcha, Neffy. Fair enough, you got me. Nix, even if I were flying to the UK, I wouldn't use Ryanair. Like, as much as I try to save money and I hate to spend unnecessarily when I can avoid it. I mean, I say that, but I'm always the first person to get gifts and whatnot for my friends and to throw donations at people on Twitch, but, you know, I would spring the extra 20 or 30 euros to avoid having to fly on a Ryanair flight, because the hell with that. Oh, Sam, thank you so much for the 100 bits. Really appreciate that. Trying to beat the 3rd dungeon in Strange Journey. Okay, no problem, Sam. Don't worry about it. Good luck. Good luck. And actually, yeah, Boston does have a lot of really great restaurants. I've been going to Boston for years, like literally ever since I was a kid. Ever since we first moved to Connecticut, I'd been been going to Boston periodically to visit my extended family who ended up living there. So I'm quite familiar with the city. I know it fairly well, but because restaurants are constantly closing and being replaced by new ones, just because that's how it works in pretty much any city, there are a lot of restaurants there now that weren't there when I was a kid, and that some of them really interest me, and I've been meaning to check them out. So it's always a different experience every time I go to the city to see what's changed and what's still the same, you know? Welcome home, Morteferu! Yeah, after all of that, I don't blame you. I would just get some rest. Kick back and relax a little bit, Morteferu. Put your feet up and, yeah, have a nice heavy dinner. Hello, Onion Bro the Third. Welcome. Oh, no kidding. Alex, I didn't realize that you guys celebrate Thanksgiving in Poland. Because it's pretty much exclusively an American holiday. And Canadian, I guess, but they celebrate it on a different day, I think, in Canada. Or do you guys just do that as sort of an international cross-cultural thing, Alex? Good idea, D. Popcorn sounds really great right about now. Yeah, Onion Bro, that's what I thought. I believe I remembered that Canada celebrates it on a different day. And I think for a different reason, right? Don't you guys... like, Thanksgiving in Canada means something different than it does in America? Yeah? Like it commemorates a different event? In America, Onion Bro, Thanksgiving specifically and necessarily is a celebration of the fact that the pilgrims who traveled from England to New England to settle there. We're talking the crew and passengers on the Mayflower, that they actually made it and didn't die along the way. And that when they got there, they didn't die of starvation. That's basically what Thanksgiving in America is a celebration of. It's come to sort of more broadly just be a way of celebrating the harvest, which takes place in autumn, but originally, and to some extent even still, that's what it commemorates. Yeah, Alex, that's what I would have thought. Yeah, Onion Bro, it's probably... I figured in Canada it probably had the same general meaning, but I wasn't sure if it was tied to a specific event as it is in America. Hey Mel, how you doing? Oh, it's not tied to an event in Canada. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, Onion Bro, it is. And the specific event that it's related to... Let me see if I can... Oh, that's nice of you, Mel. Alright, let's see. Oh, and Dravenus, thank you so much for the resub. Welcome back. All right, here we go. Onion Bro. There you go. That's basically kind of a summary of the history of Thanksgiving as it is celebrated in America and why. No problem. No, this isn't my first time playing... Well, I mean, this is my first playthrough of this particular Phoenix Wright game. I had never played any of the games before picking up the HD Ace Attorney trilogy on PS4. I finished the first Ace Attorney game for the first time a few months ago. I'm now working on the second Ace Attorney game for the first time at present. Welcome back, D. So yeah, there you go, Onion Bro. In that article, there's it'll tell you about basically the idea behind American Thanksgiving and how it relates to the crossing of the Mayflower and all of that, and all of the details. If you're interested, it's not strictly crucial that you know, but it's just one of those interesting things to see how Thanksgiving in America compares to Thanksgiving in your country, in Canada. Oh, good, excellent, Onion Bro. And yeah, this is really going to mostly be kind of a hanging out stream. I don't think it's going to take all of the time I have today to finish the current case. I basically have to leave here at, or probably not too long after, 9:30 p.m. So that gives me from now around 3 hours in order to catch my flight, so... Ah, no problem, Onion Bro. Happy to help. Oh, students on American Studies. That explains why, Alex. Okay. So the whole Thanksgiving thing is probably just what I thought it was, part of a cross-cultural initiative. I gotcha. That's... well... my extended family, Mel. I'm going to be stopping home in Connecticut for probably about a day. Maybe even less, actually. Probably just a few hours. And then I will be heading straight on to Boston from there, and then back to Connecticut. Okay, Alex. I think this is the first time you've told me that. I didn't realize what exactly you were studying, or that it was American Studies. I see. My trip, Onion Bro? No. I am visiting my extended family for the American Thanksgiving holiday. It's basically one of only 2 times a year that I have an opportunity to really see my family, because they all live in different countries around the world. Pretty much none of them live in Germany anymore. It's just me here, and... Hello, Darkside! Welcome! And basically, Thanksgiving and the Jewish holiday of Passover are the 2 occasions every year, Onion Bro, when my entire or most of my extended family are all together in one place. So those are the only real opportunities I have to stop in and see everyone without making a special and, you know, expensive trip to see only a few people. Which I would do if I could afford to, but unfortunately I can't. So I have to, you know, try and make the best of only a couple of trips a year. Yeah, Alex, it's funny, because you've told me quite a lot about the college that you're going to and all the different activities you've been doing, but I don't think you've ever once mentioned before now what you were actually studying. Oh, not MagFest, Mel. You're thinking of PAX East. I mean, I see my parents regardless, because when I fly to America, my destination is pretty much always Connecticut. I fly into Bradley Airport, and my parents live about an hour from there. So it pretty much always ends up being my mother who comes to pick me up at the airport. And I take that opportunity to spend a little bit of time with them, but that's just pretty much any time I'm in the country. Ah, I appreciate it, Darkside. Yeah, I've only just started the stream. I figure I'm going to try and get in one more, even if it's just a short stream, which it's going to have to be today, before I leave. It's been such a frustratingly unproductive month, and I haven't gotten to stream anywhere near as much as I wanted to, for no reason other than that my sleep schedule has been screwed up, and it just makes me want to tear my hair out. Plus, not streaming has meant that I've missed all of you a lot, and it's kind of funny that... I mean, I started doing this just as a hobby, and it's now become an important part of how I pay the bills, but it's also just sort of become something that I didn't realize I looked forward to quite as much as I do. And going like an entire, I think, past two and a half weeks with only a couple of streams scattered throughout has... Oh, Dravenus! Dravenus, thank you so much for the 10 gift subs. Jeez, man. Well, that's going to help cover my travel expenses. Thank you so much, Dravenus, for the 10 gift subs to Lysiana, Shalashashknya, Done With This, Mr. Huggles, Melchiades, Fontez, Comrade Penguin, Dante Electro, King Thunder, and the Ogre King. My god, Dravenus, thank you. That was incredibly generous and thoroughly unnecessary, but I deeply appreciate it. You caught me in the middle of saying, Dravenus, that not doing enough streaming over the course of this past couple of weeks has just sort of left me with this feeling of emptiness in my heart that I didn't realize that that I would miss you guys as much as I did. But yeah, I missed you all a lot. So I want to make sure I get in at least one good stream before I head out to America and am away again for another probably 5 days or so. So, yeah, I want to take care of that, and I swear, so help me, I will get back into the rhythm of regular streams when I return. I guess at this point, as much for the sake of my own sanity as anyone else's. Oh, thanks, guys. I love you all, too. Like, really, it's funny to think that I actually wasn't a particularly... Or, well, I at the very least, I wasn't anywhere near as... I guess as confident or sociable a person when I first started uploading videos on YouTube as I am now after the experience of having been a content creator for a number of years and just, you know, kind of having to refine those skills over the course of doing what I do. But I feel like I have my audience to thank for a great deal of the personal growth that I've undergone in that regard over the years, and, you know, just all the feedback I've gotten, all the things I've learned, and the things that people have taught me along the way as well, that I never would have learned if I hadn't become acquainted with all of you. You know, if I hadn't developed an audience in the first place. So, I guess it's kind of a bit of an appropriate coincidence that should come up now, right before Thanksgiving, as just something that I personally am quite thankful for. So, yeah, thank you all. I really appreciate that. Yeah, Sugar Crow, it's kind of a nice way of just getting a little bit of human contact without having to do it in person, which is something that's always just torn through my energy very quickly. Like, I have really limited energy for in-person interactions. It wears me out really quickly, but streaming, not so much. Drawers, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub, and congrats on 2 years on the nose. Really appreciate that. Welcome back, and I appreciate having you around, Drawers. Thank you. Oh, hey, Smoke Pigs, welcome. Thank you all for stopping in. Did Charlie finish streaming or something, Smoke Pigs? Did she manage to get all the way through that run that she was doing? Or are you just dropping in to say hi? Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, I hope you and your dog had a good walk. Oh, Sugar Crow, thank you so much for the resub. Welcome back. You guys, you all spoil me. Congrats on just over 2 years, Sugar Crow. I'm just seeing just now, 26 months. My gosh. It's hard to believe it's been that long. The time really does fly. And so does the heat from my tea kettle, or my teapot, rather. So I hope you'll all pardon me for just a moment while I indulge in some before it gets completely cold. Oh, damn, Alex. Ah, of course it was Ishin. She had a really solid run, though, up till the point that I, and it sounds like even past the point that I had to duck out. She's gonna pull it off one of these days, Alex. I just know it. Yeah, Sugar Crow, the time just escapes you, doesn't it? It's kind of funny, isn't it, Sugar Crow? When you're in school, like primary school, you know, elementary school and high school, you just can't wait for it to be over. The time just drags, and you just feel like it can't go by fast enough. But then the minute you graduate, the minute you're out, it's like, oh my god, suddenly the time is flying and I don't even know what I'm doing with it. Oh, good, Alex. I'm glad the rest of it went well, too, other than Ishin. Oh, I'm glad it's not just me, Smoke Pigs. Every now and then, I'll get someone who will say, but I liked school. And I just can't wrap my head around that. I know, Smoke Pigs, it feels like it was just Christmas last year, and already it's Christmas again. Yeah, it just... You blink your eyes and an entire year's gone by. Oh yeah, absolutely, Sugar Crow, same. I just lose all track of the passage of time, and before I know it, it's passed me by. On the other hand, I'm having a lot of fun thanks to the fact that I get to do this and hang out here with all of you, and the fact that that also helps me to meet my living expenses, which justifies and enables me to actually do something that I enjoy and am passionate about as at least part of what I need to do in order to keep the lights on and put food on the table. So, again, I thank you all for making that possible. Hey, Kaji! Yeah, join the club, Sugar Crow. I know, right? It is, Onion Bro. The soundtracks in these games are really solid. I just wish the writing in Ace Attorney 2 was as good as the writing in Ace Attorney 1, because there was definitely a drop in quality on that particular point. Kajit, how are you holding up? And also, Kajit, since I know you're in America, happy Thanksgiving. Well, premature happy Thanksgiving, but I'm not actually going to be able to stream tomorrow to wish you Thanksgiving on the day itself, because I myself will be traveling. Really, Kajit? Your favorite streamer is streaming? What are you doing here, then? Go watch them! Oh, I'm glad to hear that, Alex. That gives me some encouragement to actually pick up and play the third game. Sugar Crow, I wish I could. Believe me, I would if I had the ability. On the other hand, Sugar Crow, look at it this way. I don't know if you feel the way I do about this, but I am really glad that I'm not 16 anymore. Because 16 can just go to hell. I don't miss being 16. Well, Alex, you're not the first person to tell me that, so hopefully it's true. Oh, you do, Sugar Crow. Okay, well, again, I'm glad to know that I'm not the only one. Kajit hasn't replied. I guess she really did go to watch her favorite streamer. Well, I set myself up for that, didn't I? I'm just teasing Kajit. Yeah, amen to that, Incredible Meh. Oh, Kajit, you're a sweetheart. Thank you. Oh, you mean your 19-year-old classmates in your current classes, Sugar Crow? Yeah. Yeah, I don't miss the impulsive stage of life. Frankly, I don't know how so many teenagers survive through that stage, just based on some of the stuff I've witnessed in high school. Speaking of surviving, I suppose I should probably load up this file here, because you all know me. I would be content to just sit here and chat with all of you, but... Well, Sugar Crow, sometimes they do. Other times I feel like parents are the ones who are responsible for that. Actually, I kind of had one parent of each type. My mother was the one who pretty much was responsible for me surviving, and my father was the one who was constantly, like, putting all these dumb ideas in my head of stuff that he thought it would be hilarious if I did. Hey, Franz, why don't you go pour some water into a cup and sniff some up your nose? It'll be hilarious. For me. That bastard. Starlit Stunner, hello and welcome. Yeah, it seems that way, Alex. Yeah, Kajit, you dodged a lot of bullets by being homeschooled. Unfortunately, by today's standard, I think I can say you literally dodged a lot of bullets by being homeschooled. Anyway. It's past 9 p.m. already, isn't it? I wonder if Mr. Edgeworth has already found Mystic Maya. These things take time. I'd say probably not. Yeah, sorry about that, Onion Bro and Alex. That was, not quite the... Alright, the police are professionals, Pearls. They'll find her, don't you worry. Of course, it's going to be us who are the first ones that find her. Yeah, Onion Bro, I have a habit of just kind of... When a joke pops into my mind, even if it's kind of a half joke, and even if it might be a little bit blunt or deadpan or dark, every now and then I like to keep people guessing. Because that's what a good spy does. A good spy is not predictable. Yes, exactly, Onion Bro. I rarely miss an opportunity to take a shot at society. Especially certain parts of society. And again, I feel that it's very important for somebody in my line of work to just keep people guessing, you know? Keeping people guessing is a valuable skill. Well, yeah, D. Schlent, but that's a spy in the classic sense. I don't have to worry about that because mentioning that I do what I do isn't going to compromise my ability to do what I do. Because I work in an office in Berlin. right? So, yeah, good luck. What are you going to do? Slash the tires of the bus so that I get to work late? Oh no. The Franz Anywhere system, Starlet Stunner. Right. No, I like to keep people guessing by just throwing an occasional curveball once in a while that, that nobody expects. Pingers! Anyway. And if we can win a not guilty verdict tomorrow, then everything will be okay. You're right. Oh, I bet you do, Alex, but every last one of those jokes is richly deserved at this point. Oh, thank you, Onion Bro. Yeah, I really wish I could justify putting the time into making more of those videos. But unless it turns out that there's an appetite for that kind of content on Pornhub, I just can't. I can't, because YouTube is just such a terrible place for that anymore. Oh, I know it, Alex, and I have a right to say it because I lived there for a number of years. In fact, I grew up there. I've thought about it, Kajit, and considering how well received the in-person sort of podcast, the episode of Fireside that I did a week or so ago was, now that I know that there appears to be a significant demand for that, even more of a demand, it turns out, than for actually watching me play video games, just based on the concurrent viewership that stream got. It might be something that I could possibly set up, especially now that I've rearranged my office a little bit and I have a little more room in here. They are, Onion Bro, and people are already starting to suffer because of them with the COPPA stuff. Well, thank you, Onion Bro. That's yet another thing for which I'm incredibly thankful this Thanksgiving, is that there are people out there who are actually interested in just showing up here to listen to me talk about whatever. To think that anyone in the world would care about what I have to say. And yet here we are. So the real person who killed Mr. Corrida was that assassin, Mr. Shelley the Killer, right? The card Ms. Andrews found at the crime scene seems to be proof of that. But if that's the case, then a new question comes to mind. Who was the one that hired the killer to begin with? Who is his client? You mean, who asked for the murder? That most content creators are like what, Onion Bro? How specifically, what do you mean? That person didn't want to dirty their own hands in blood, but whoever this client is, they're still a killer. Oh, Alex, I think everyone's already made pretty clear where they stand on that. I mean, which is fine with me. I certainly don't mind it. It'd take a little bit of setting up, and it's not the same as what I usually do, but you know, I'm all for trying different formats as long as it's something that I can actually make work. Like, I would love to do cooking streams. The problem is my kitchen is not on the same floor of my home as my office. And in order for me to be able to stream anything in my kitchen, I would literally have to run cables either through the floor or down a staircase, which would be about 15 meters worth of cable, which then causes problems with latency. And, you know, I'd need to worry about ground fault interference and that kind of thing, and it would just be incredibly impractical to do that. Oh, I know, Kajit, I know. Twitch, even in their official PR, like, if you follow the Twitch Twitter channel, pretty much everything that they tweet, all of the clips that they share, are clips of, like, hype moments, really, really exciting stuff, or, you know, faster-paced, funny stuff. You don't tend to really see clips being promoted of relaxing streams, although I think that's also partly because there's generally less demand for the more relaxing content. The demand is definitely there, but there are different demographics that prefer different kinds of content, of course. So I guess it would be pretty clear which of those demographics I would be appealing to with just a stream of me sitting around drinking tea. And I guess that already represents a fairly large portion of my viewer base to begin with. Khajiit, you say tea porn, but I've been genuinely giving some serious consideration to just starting a suitable for work Pornhub account on whatever part of that website is used for not porn, for just like regular uploads of non-porn stuff. And just seeing if anybody actually watches what I upload there. Because if that turns out to actually be viable, especially considering the absolute dumpster fire that is YouTube right now, you may well get some form of T-porn. Well, Onion Bro, I can't claim it was my idea. It was suggested to me by viewers, whom, although they were half joking about it, they made the very good point that Pornhub, ironic as it is pretty much the only well-established safe harbor on the internet anymore that actually has a fairly large community of viewers. Granted, the majority of those viewers, I suspect, are only actually there for porn, and I don't know exactly how much overlap there would be between that audience and me uploading Tea Talk or Fine Dining episodes or something like that, you know? I mean, yeah, we can laugh about it being, oh, hee, it's food porn, but I honestly have no idea what to expect in terms of the actual levels of interest that I would get from Pornhub's audience for that kind of content, you know? Suppress your usual diction, Khajiit? What do you mean? Yeah, Onion Bro, I have no idea about that either, but what I might do is I am planning to try to record at least a couple of episodes worth of Fine Dining while I'm in America these next several days. What I might do is just edit the episodes and put them together and upload them to YouTube as normal. But then maybe I'll also just create an SFW Pornhub account and just upload them there and see what kind of viewership they get. And it's not like I'll have an established audience on Pornhub just after creating a new account or anything, but I'm morbidly curious as to whether anyone would actually watch those if I were to upload them there. Nix, I've tried it. It just doesn't. It's not a viable alternative. Because first of all, Dailymotion has no real monetization options, so it's not practical from a financial standpoint. And they don't really have the infrastructure or the community base that I would need in order to make it feasible for me to do that for a living there. Archaic? Khajiit, who do you think you're talking to? Listen to me speak. Don't even worry about it, Khajiit. If you have a particular way that feels more natural for you to write or to express yourself, please do not hesitate. Please feel at liberty to use that. I highly doubt I will have much trouble understanding you, if any. I am at least well enough versed in antiquated and archaic dialects and jargon and general lexicon that I doubt I would have any difficulty in understanding you. Well, Horrible Hog, YouTube does, but only if you're one of YouTube's favorite creators. If you're anybody else, YouTube just gives you the big middle finger. Honestly, Khajiit, I've spoken like this ever since I was a kid, because I had to learn English after moving to the States, and the English that I learned, partly because my parents didn't really do a very good job of teaching it to me, other than that my mother read to me a lot, but the books that my mother read to me tended to be written with fairly poetic prose. And then the books that I myself was interested in reading also tended to have fairly poetic and often archaic prose as well. I haven't really looked into BitChute, Mel, but from what little I know of it, I'm fairly skeptical. Bone, thank you so much for the 300 bits. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. Oh yeah, the good old King James. Yeah, Khajiit. I've heard plenty of complaints from people who had to use the King James version of the Bible when they were in Catholic schools growing up. I can understand why that would be a little bit difficult, or really very difficult. Actually, Khajiit, if you're interested sometime, I think I still have one of my old notebooks from when I was in 3rd grade. I believe it's a journal that we were required to keep and that we were supposed to write in every day as just part of our learning to write. 3rd grade, I would have been, I think, 9 at the time. I think I still have that. If you or maybe anyone else are interested sometime in me digging that up and maybe reading a few pages of it, it'll probably be really cringeworthy. I don't exactly remember what's in it, other than just my daily thoughts on whatever was happening on that particular day. But that'll give you some idea of the way that I spoke and thought when I was 9, if it makes you feel any better about how you naturally speak. No, Rockethead, you're not late at all. We actually just started. You know how slow I am to start these things off. Well, it's neither crumbling nor that ancient, Alex. The thing is, and my memory of this is pretty fuzzy, but if I remember correctly, at the end of my 6th grade year, when I graduated 6th grade, which was the last year of elementary school, and after that I moved on to a different, to a middle school in a different building, in a different town. When I graduated 6th grade, I was just so done with school at that point that on impulse, I tore the notebook up, or tried to. It turned out to be a lot more durable than I thought it was. I wouldn't have given those old spiral-bound notebooks credit for being as durable as they were, but I thought it was going to come apart really easily, and so I kind of gave a half-assed effort to tear it up, and it only partly tore. I got a few pages out of it, and I think it was either my teacher or my mother ended up putting it back together, but they put it back together in the wrong order. So, the entries are all out of order, and they're entries from the end of the year in the beginning of the book. So, it's probably a really hilarious read for a stream sometime if anyone is interested, but I at the same time, I'm almost afraid to open it again just because of what kind of cringe it probably contains. Yeah, maybe, Khajiit, maybe. Oh, welcome home, Rockethead. Well, you timed that perfectly then. The closest you'll ever get to a drunk stream, Alex? Yeah, well, I mean, I don't drink, so I guess being 9 years old is probably the closest I'll ever get to being drunk. How did we even... Oh, nice, Rockethead. I'm jealous. Hello, Toreador. Welcome. Toreador, I'm alright, thanks. I'm hanging in. Khajiit, is that your default natural prose? Alright, Mel, let's see. What is this? Oh, the new power supply. Okay. Very good. Looks nice and clean, and I see you've put at least a token effort into your cable management. Yeah, Khajiit, I don't personally mind that. Like, it doesn't bother me at all, but I can understand why you might get some weird looks from people in other parts of the internet or, you know, face-to-face. It's fascinating that that's a natural way of speaking to you, though, Khajiit. You must have aced all of your literature classes in school, at least. Oh, really, Mel? What kind of case is it? Now I've forgotten to drink my tea. Well, Khajiit, don't worry about it too much. Some of us just have an affinity for the traditions of days gone by. Nice, Rockethead, but just be careful of that, because I've tried probably 7 or 8 of those adapters of different kinds, and anything that uses HDMI is very likely to forcibly stretch the image from your PS2 when it upscales it, and you don't necessarily want that. I've had all kinds of trouble finding an upscaling device for the PS2 that will upscale into HDMI without stretching the standard definition aspect ratio to widescreen. So just bear that in mind, Rockethead, and make sure you hang on to your receipt, just in case. Gotcha, Mel. I gotcha. Myself resituated here. Sorry, everybody. I had to stand up for a moment to open a window. Because no matter what I do or how how hard I try, it is either too cold or too hot in this room. All right. Yeah, Onion Bro, and ordinarily it can be a pain having to manage the temperature in a room where you have lots of electronic equipment, but the silver lining, I suppose, is that at least in the winter, I don't have to pay as much for actual heat, because all I have to do is hang out in my office with the window closed, and between my PC, the old laptop that I use for routing my audio, and 4 monitors, plus lights and various other switches and wires and consoles and whatnot, it actually stays quite warm in here on those really cold nights. Alright, let's see. Who could have hired the assassin? You think it was Miss Andrews? I wonder. But if she was the client, then why go through the effort to stab the knife into the corpse herself? But if Miss Andrews wasn't the client, then... No, it can't be. Matt On Guard himself? Was it Matt? If Mr. On Guard really did hire the assassin, then he's not innocent at all. Far from it, he would be guilty of the crime. Or at least complicit. But it can't be Mr. On Guard, right? I mean, when we first talked with him... I'd like to ask you one more question. Did you kill Mr. Juan Corrida? Alright, just so we're clear, dude. I didn't kill anyone, and that includes Juan Corrida, okay? I didn't see any Cyclops at the time, but we only asked if he himself killed someone. We didn't ask if he hired somebody to kill someone. Well, Horrible Hog, actually, I don't like wool because it's really scratchy. I have a wool overcoat, but I don't really like to wear it. What I like, at least to when I'm sleeping, is down. I have a really, really nice, a really thick winter weight down quilt that I got last Christmas, actually, thanks to some very generous donations that viewers made, which enabled me to afford it. It was, for a quilt, it was quite expensive. It was like 150 euros, but it is just the absolute warmest thing. I don't even need to have a heater on anymore when I sleep during the winter with this quilt. It is incredibly warm. And it holds heat really well, so it's not like a big, thick cotton or wool blanket where either it scratches the hell out of you or it's porous and heat just escapes. Hey, Insane Bob, and hello, Haretsu. So yeah, Horrible Hog, I prefer down, generally. Or fur, depending. I've got a couple of winter coats, like really, really hardcore winter coats that are fur, but I don't think in the entire time I've lived in Germany it's ever gotten cold enough for me to be able to wear them. It definitely does not get as cold here or as snowy as it does in parts of America. Oh, good luck with the interview, Bob. Yeah, Horrible Hog, maybe it's just a sensory thing or a tactile thing for me, but I can't stand wool. Actually, that reminds me. Did you remember something, Mr. Nick? Yeah, something Miss Andrews said at the trial today. She said something interesting. So what is this interesting thing? Oh, that's right, you didn't hear it, did you, Pearls? Juan had bet everything on the Jammin' Ninja this year. And if he lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure that Matt was going down with him. That's what he thought, anyway. It looked like somehow Juan had in his hands a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed. I mean, if Matt is hiring assassins to bump off his competition, that alone would be a career-ruining scandal, I would think. Oh, good luck with that, Haretsu. I really hope that works out. Mr. Engarde's secret? What is this secret? I don't know yet, but for now, let's think about it as this way. Mr. Corrida was going to reveal this secret. That means Matt Engarde had plenty of motive to have Mr. Corrida silenced. Which means we have to meet with Mr. Engarde. There's no way around it now. Yeah, this turn of events is definitely beginning to cast a shadow of suspicion on Engarde. No, Haretsu, you didn't actually miss all that much. The stream was fairly slow going yesterday. Wow, it's really getting late, isn't it, Mr. Nick? Yeah, it's past 9 p.m. already. We still have some things to prepare for tomorrow's trial. There's still the matter of this secret Mr. Corrida held about Mr. Engarde. And Ms. Andrews' real intentions. These are two things I must know tonight. But aren't visiting hours over at the detention center? I'm sure we'll think of something, Pearls, don't you worry. Horrible Hog, Maya has been kidnapped. The child is her cousin. Oh, great. Hey, wait! What is it, whippersnapper? All I know is nothing that has anything to do with you is ever good. Like just now, I was handed this strange device for who knows what reason. And I was told to use it to search the whole hotel. That's the bug sweeper, isn't it? The one Gumshoe made. I don't know, and frankly I don't care, but the request came from Edgy Poo, so... Edgeworth? And he said, if you feel angry, direct your anger at that unsophisticated lawyer. So I'm going to feel free to direct all my anger towards you. Ah, gee, thanks a bundle, Edgeworth. What a pal you are. Really? Edgeworth made Old Bag sweep the entire hotel for bugs? No problem, Horrible Hog. This is absolutely top secret, so you had better keep it to yourselves. I heard they found a spy camera hidden in one of the presents. Very interesting. I'm sure it was, you know, was to catch poor Juan in the middle of a scandalous meeting. Scandalous? What's that? It means, well, you know, that gossip that's been going around my dear Juan. Oh, you mean that thing about Miss Andrews? But I'm sure she must have had some reason for getting close to Mr. Corrida. I'll let you in on another secret, young'un. I know who planted that spy camera. It was that obnoxious puffy-haired photographer girl. The nerve of some people. Spying on people by herself, as if I wouldn't want to see it for myself, too. Wow, the alien actually admitted her true intentions for a change. I don't know what you're thinking exactly, but I can bet it's nothing... I can bet it's nothing good, she says after expressing jealousy that Lotta got exclusive spy cam privileges in Juan Corrida's hotel room. to watch him bang Adrian Andrews? Seriously, old bag. But I didn't say anything. So you want to know about Juan and that manager, right? Actually, as I hear it, they were something of a refreshing pair, those two. Oh? I tell you, Juan really welcomed that manager with open arms, I heard. That manager? Who are you talking about? You don't know? That manager woman Juan had. It's a shame she killed herself, though. Oh, you're talking about Miss Celeste Impacts. Ms. Andrews' mentor, right? Yes, that's the one. That Celeste girl. She was supposed to get married, you know. Married? You mean to Mr. Corrida? Ah, really? You young kids today don't know anything, do you? That girl Celeste killed herself 3 days after their marriage announcement. 3 days after their marriage announcement? What in the... Why would Ms. Impacts want to kill herself? She was going to get married. I don't know, man. Just thinking about getting married makes me want to kill myself. Oh. Everybody is unfollowing right now. Well, that's because she was thrown away, you see, by Juan. Eboera, thank you so much. Yeet to you as well, fellow loser. How are you doing? What? But they were going to get married, right? They promised each other, right? They held a grand announcement session, but 3 days later, Juan suddenly canceled their marriage. Is that true? It was in the weekly magazines. But why? Why did he do that? That was not in the magazines, unfortunately. I see. The night after Juan called off the wedding, that manager Celeste killed herself. Oh, nice, Eboera. It's definitely a good time to get some rest. Granted, any time is a good time to get some rest, isn't it? Pierogies, you mean, Mortiferu? How terrible. I wonder what happened between those two. Well, thanks, old bag. Genuinely, you've actually been useful and not a crazy nuisance for once. Mel, the client is a guy named Matt Engard, an actor. Oh, pepperoni! Okay, Mortiferu, gotcha. On that night, there must have been at least a few hundred people here. I guess the police are done with their questioning and investigating. Looks like things here in the lobby have finally calmed down. Sounds like maybe we ought to head over to Criminal Affairs. Yup. It feels sort of tense in here, doesn't it, Mr. Nick? Yeah, it does. I wonder if something happened. You're Mr. Engard's lawyer, right? Yes, sir. Well, we finally found just the person we've been looking for, a real decisive witness. A decisive witness? You mean for the Engard case? We're taking the witness's statement right now. Gotta hand it to Mr. Edgeworth. What's Edgeworth up to now? Who is this witness? I think you know this person quite well, Mr. Lawyer. Mr. Nick? Between the kidnapper's demand and now this, I can't see any way to win here. Oh yeah, Mr. Edgeworth wanted me to tell you something. He did? Even though visiting hours are long over at the detention center, he wanted me to grant you special permission, so there you go. Oh, okay. Thanks, Chief. Thanks, Edgeworth. You know, Insane Bob, honestly, I don't think a pierogi with pepperoni in it would go amiss. I could totally see that working. Yeah, no kidding, Rockethead. Edgeworth is playing several different games of chess right now. What? I've already called them so they know. Go on, go talk to your heart's content. Thank you very much. This is such good news, Mr. Nick. Go talk to your heart's content? Sounds like the police are pretty sure they have tomorrow's trial in the bag. Well, alright. Ah, he's glued to his computer. What? The real killer in the corridor murder is an assassin? This must be someone's idea of a joke. I can't believe this garbage. Have a little more faith in your own subordinates, dude. Seriously. Alright, I guess we're headed to the detention center. I'm sure they must have transferred Miss Andrews here by now. So that means that both Engarde and Andrews are in this detention center. Now then, whose story do I want to hear? If Engarde is the one behind hiring the assassin, he is not about to give us the information we're going to need. On the other hand, we may still be able to pry something out of Adrian Andrews. But then, Andrews also told us that she didn't know what secret it was that Matt had, what dirt he had on Juan. Hello, Skylar Rose, from San Jose, no kidding. Well, hello to you from Berlin, Germany. Yeah, Insane Bob. Pierogi... No, the other way around. Pierogi filled with pepperoni. Not pepperoni stuffed with pierogi, because at that point it wouldn't be pepperoni anymore. It would be pierogaroni. Or pepperogi. Or whatever it was that Morteferu called it. Yeah, incredible, Matt. We basically all we got out of Matt was that he didn't kill anybody. I think maybe it's time we go reevaluate our line of questioning with Matt. Dude, it's Mr. Wright. Hope you can get me off the hook tomorrow. I'm counting on you. I hope so too. Edgeworth just dropped a bombshell on me by saying that Juan Corrida was killed by an assassin and that the assassin's client is this man, Matt Engarde. What's wrong? Mr. Engarde, there's something I must know with 100% certainty. You seem kind of different. You're totally not like your usual lawyer dude self. Yeah, about the press conference. You mean the one where Juan was going to dress up as the Nickel Samurai? Yeah. I heard a little more about it from Ms. Andrews. It looked like somehow Juan had in his hands a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed. I mean, Haretsu, it doesn't exactly look like a phone. Could you please fill me in on what this secret is? Please? Ah, okay, here we go. 5 locks, damn. I knew this was coming. Mr. Nick, don't tell me. Psych locks. You said secret, right? But I don't have any idea what it is. Do you, dude? Alright, fine. Did you know about Mr. Corrida and Miss Andrews' relationship? Well, it's all over the tabloids, dude. Ah, but I don't know any of the details, if that's what you mean. Look, how many times do I have to tell you I don't care what Juan did with his life? Miss Andrews, she had a purpose in mind when she started seeing Mr. Corrida. Her mentor was Mr. Corrida's manager, and Miss Andrews was going to get Miss Celeste Impax's suicide note from him. Celeste? Does that jog any memories? Dude, I suddenly just got totally hungry. You up for a pizza? My treat. Ah, dodging the question, huh? Mr. Nick, what's a pizza? Is it like kind of a pea, like green peas? Is it full of country goodness and green penis? Just a few more for the road. Let's go eat one later, okay? Oh, I got cut off by the pizza dude at the shop. That's too bad. Well, how about we get our minds off this topic and talk about something else, okay? Yeah, listen to this guy trying to innocuously... No, Ebawera, no, that's not at all what I meant. No, how could you? Mr. On Guard, are you connected to Miss Impax's suicide in some way? I think it's fairly safe to say that he's got more information than he's going to give us. What, the list of just different Harney.com web pages, Eboera? Alright, well, I guess we're gonna have to head back to Criminal Affairs. Oh, Mr. Wright, please, you have to help me! Uh-oh. What? Oh, God! Oh, what's happened here? Mr. Powers! What happened? Why are you here? You see, I got roped into this somehow. Oh, for God's sake, again? What? Now I'm going to testify at tomorrow's trial. Oh, he's their star witness. So the decisive witness is Mr. Powers? I was talking with a detective until a little while ago, and I was on my way home, when all of a sudden, you're under arrest, and I was brought back here. Oh, they said my face and whole self in general looked suspicious or something. Well, I guess I can see how they thought you looked suspicious. No, you don't get... Well, in Japan you get to do that because it's a police state, but this localization is supposed to be America. And in America, you don't get to just haul somebody in without a warrant or probable cause. You don't get to just do that because you don't like the look of someone's face. I'm just a normal guy on an exercise show for kids. Is that a crime? Poor Powers, man. This poor guy can't catch a break. So about this testimony you're giving, what are you going to talk about? Oh, I really don't know yet. But it sounds like I saw something pretty important from what they tell me. You saw something important? What was it? Well, the detective told me not to talk about it. You can't tell anyone, and especially not that lawyer, he said. Damn, they've already prepped their witness. Who do you think that lawyer the detective was talking about? I'm gonna take a wild guess and say it's me. True, Incredible Meh. True. Asdings, in Japan, there is no such thing as Miranda rights. There is no such thing, really, as civil liberties, as you know it in America. In Japan, the police pretty much have absolute power to arrest somebody without probable cause, to hold them indefinitely, and the Japanese police are fairly famous, in fact, for coercing confessions out of people who are not actually guilty. The criminal justice system in Japan, Astings, has a 99 point, I think, 8, like 99.7 or 0.8 conviction rate. Yeah, you got it. Mr. Nick, Mystic Maya and myself are your only two allies in this whole world, but it's all right. I don't know, Gumshoe's an ally, and Edgeworth seems like he's going back and forth sometimes. Yeah, Astings, if you're curious about the details, just do a little bit of research. You probably should start your line of inquiry by just running an internet search on Japan's criminal justice system. You'll find what you're looking for pretty quickly. I don't really have a lot of friends, do I? This is going to do a lot of damage to Matt, you know. Because he's got that refreshing like a spring breeze image going. Yeah, you'd think that he'd be the poster boy for Axe body spray or something. Oh wait, no, that's just middle school boys. But what is he really like? Well, let's see. Matt's always been kind of a player with women. Yeah, I got that impression. He would never really turn a pretty face away, if you know what I mean. He'd always say, it's just a game, to justify himself. What? How horrible! That's unforgivable! Ow, sorry, didn't mean to offend you. But you know, he said once that there's only one person in the world who won't swoon over me. One person who wouldn't swoon over him. His manager, you know, Miss Adrian Andrews. Why is Mr. Powers suddenly looking kind of energetic? And why do his pants suddenly seem a little bit tighter? Ah, you see, I'm actually a sucker for gossip. I mean, celebrities in their world have this dazzling sort of image, right? Yeah, Astings, I always recommend to people that it's a good idea to learn about other cultures. Because for one thing, it just gives you a better understanding of how the rest of the world works outside of the circles and the community and the society in which you yourself live. And the better you understand others, the better you'll be able to relate to them, and that just makes life easier in a lot of ways. Plus, the better you'll be able to understand and appreciate world affairs and foreign politics and that kind of thing, is by having a cultural frame of reference through which to understand them. And apart from that, I just personally find it interesting to learn about other cultures. A dazzling sort of image? But aren't you part of that dazzle, Mr. Powers? No, I'm more of a hairy, sweaty, smelly, brutish kind of guy, you see. But it's okay, really. I get to hear plenty of gossip about a lot of the other stars around me as things happen. Well, Random Pers, the Japanese localization of this game, the original localization, has this game set in Japan. But for a really stupid set of reasons, the English localization team made the decision to retcon the setting of the game in the English localization to Los Angeles. And as a result, all of the Japanese visual design and references that were left in the game were just kind of scrubbed over or hand-waved in bizarre and usually extremely jarring ways. I don't know if anybody has a link to that comic. You know the one I'm talking about. If you want to post it in chat for Random Pers, because that sums it up perfectly. You got me there, Haretsu. Oh, they did Loki? Oh my god, that's almost worse. Oh, that just... I can taste that, and it tastes terrible. Well, Astings, that's just all the more reason to be curious, right? Being curious is one of the best things you can do for yourself. Oh, okay, Rockethead, they did finally just bring it back. I see. Fascinating. Yeah, Random Pers, that's correct. Horrible Hog, it's the... Yeah, Haretsu, that's the one. Let me see if... It's gotta be around here. Okay, here we go. Well, this is about as close as I can get to it. There you go. That's the Know Your Meme article, but it has the comic pictured there. Yeah, it's Awkward Zombie, Haretsu. And then there's another version of this, which basically has this comic, but it's been retranslated 12 or 13 different times after the fashion that various different game developer companies would translate it. Like, the Squaresoft version of it just has the word fuck plastered throughout it. The Sega version isn't translated at all, it's just in Japanese. And that kind of thing. I don't remember where that one is or what it's called, but if someone has a link to that either, feel free to post it. Oh, is it, Mel? Yeah, that's a good point, actually. It could well be linked in one of the footnotes. Alright, well... Oh, hey, so did you hear about this yet? About Miss Andrews' mentor and her suicide? You mean Ms. Inpax? We heard something about how her wedding was cancelled. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I thought about it a little the other day, about that mysterious death. Hey, Mr. Wright, why don't you ask me about that? Go on, go ahead. Mr. Powers is so charged up, his skin is practically glowing with electricity. No, that's just because he's wearing a really loud suit. Hey, so have you heard this? Celeste left a suicide note. And they say that Juan went and hid it. We heard about that in court today. Yes, Incredible Meh! This is the one! This is the one. The Bandai Namco one just cracks me the hell up. Yeah, this is exactly the one I was thinking of. I'm gonna have to bookmark this because it's too good. But there wasn't any actual proof that she had left a note. Well, this is what I think. I think that something bad was written on that note. Something bad for Juan, that is. Something bad for Mr. Corrida? Why do you figure so? Well, before she died, Celeste talked with a few of her friends. And she said, it looks like I got caught up with a truly insidious man. A truly insidious man? Did she mean Mr. Corrida by that? Well, there's no one else that fits the bill, right? And that would be reason enough for him to hide the suicide note. I see. Well, that's some good info. Thank you. You're welcome. Mr. Engarde and Miss Andrews, they're both at the detention center right now. There are still things I don't understand or know about, I'm sure. Have to get the two of them to tell me everything. Oh, well, that's a pretty clear hint then. Back to the detention center. So I guess we're just gonna talk to Andrews now. Oh, it's you. Sorry to be visiting at such a late hour, but there are a few questions I absolutely have to ask you tonight. Me? I thought your client was Matt. Sure, Miss Andrews knows something. She can't be clueless about this secret Mr. Corrida had on Mr. Engarde. I'd like to ask you about Matt Engarde, if you don't mind. Mr. Wright, you still don't know, do you? The real him, I mean. You seem to bear a lot of resentment towards Mr. Engarde. If that's the case, then why did you become his manager? And why would you become intimate with his rival? That has nothing to do with this case. Nothing. About Miss Celeste Impacts. I'd finally put her death behind me, and now, thanks to you, it's all come back to the surface. I'm sorry. Yes, I was shocked by her suicide. And it's true that when I heard the rumor that Juan was the one who had hidden her suicide note, I began to draw close to him. I wanted to get her suicide note back and to burn it. You wanted to burn it? Why? I didn't want it to spread like just another piece of gossip. But I never held any murderous intent towards Juan. I would never do something so stupid. And yet you tried to frame him for murder. Or, well, you tried to frame On Guard for murder. Haretsu, just do it, dude. Don't keep us in suspense if you're going to keep talking about it. I wonder what it said. But yeah, why frame On Guard? Why did you try to frame Mr. On Guard? That's simple, because he's the killer, that's why. Isn't it the duty of every good citizen to inform the police? Informing the police is one thing. You literally tampered with evidence to frame him. But there had to be another way. The police are excellent at doing their jobs, so they'd figure it out, right? Yeah, no. Not necessarily. Yes, they're so good that they couldn't figure out the real truth behind Celeste's death. Ms. Andrews. Well, I know you're not the type of person to do something without a reason, so please tell me why you did what you did. Revenge. Huh? Did you say something just now? One lock, huh? Don't you understand yet? You're not my lawyer. To be honest, you're more like my enemy. But I'm sure I just heard Ms. Andrews say revenge. Okay, we almost certainly don't have what we need to get any of these things unlocked. Maybe we'll try Gumshoe? Ah! Hello, Jimmy 2 Feet, welcome! Ah! Mr. Nick, your phone! I don't like the sound of this ringtone right now. It sounds kind of ominous. It's probably just your imagination. You should really pick it up, Mr. Nick. It could be important. Hello? We've got a big problem, pal. What's wrong? I'm on my way to your office right now. Okay. Hey, wait a sec. Why is he coming here? It's terrible. I don't know what to say, pal. It's the end. Oh. I got here faster than I thought. Hey. No time to relax, pal. I'm confused as anything here. Haretsu, because it's a pre-rendered background, and they probably didn't have either the time or the money or just the motivation to change it. Well, what happened? We got him. We know who bought that spy camera. Eh? This quickly? And this bear's what gave them away, pal. The bear. I figured it out, pal. I figured that we should have been looking into the bear instead of the camera. But wasn't it Mr. Edgeworth? Shush, Pearl. And go on. There's only one person who bought one of those bears who's related to this crime. Who is it? Who would be so rude as to spy on another person in their room? Mad On Guard. Huh? Mad On Guard, your client. That's who, pal. And here I thought things couldn't get any worse. Alright. Are you sure you heard right? That the person who bought this bear was... I heard it from the department store clerk, pal. This is the credit card receipt for the purchase. It's for $3,800, pal. That's an exact match to the price of that stuffed bear. Now that Gumshoe's no longer a police officer, I'm amazed they gave him this. A receipt? That's all you have? Are you kidding? No, that's great evidence. We need that, Phoenix. It's not just the receipt, pal. The store clerk said so himself. He told me I'm sure I sold the bear to Mr. On Guard. mean, the clerk even got Mr. On Guard's autograph out of it, pal. So I'm sure the person that bought the stuffed bear was Mr. On Guard himself. My sight is failing me. This can't be. Proof On Guard bought a stuffed bear identical to one in evidence. No, Horrible Hog. The cost of that bear in yen would be 380,000 yen. Ish. So what about the spy camera we found? Ah, that was a dead end, pal. I mean, you can get this kind of thing from anywhere. But for now, I guess I can give these back to you to file away into evidence. Spy camera, transmitter, and stuffed bear refiled into the court record. I know you don't want to give up, pal. I didn't think it was possible. The person who put the spy camera in Juan Corrida's room was Matt On Guard. Although Old Bag seemed to think it was Lotta Hart, though I'm not sure if... Well, Neffy, but that was a life-sized, actual stuffed bear. Like a taxidermized bear. Why? Why would Mr. On Guard do something like that? Well, I mean, I bet it was to catch Ms. Andrews and Mr. Corrida in one of their rendezvous. I bet is not good enough for me. I have to know the absolute truth behind this camera. You're gonna see him? Mr. On Guard, I mean. Yeah. I'm scared, Mr. Nick. I wonder what we'll find out next. I'm scared myself, but I have to put on a good face for pearls. Hey, Bedinsis! Matt On Guard, what in the world have you done? Well, thanks, Gumshoe. You've genuinely been a bro, as always. So, I guess we've got to go back to the detention center again. You're working really late, you know. It's already past 10 p.m., dude. I think it's time you told me the truth. Relax, don't you know that ignorance is bliss? But if you really want to know, let's talk. Oh, okay, I guess we just have to pull out the big guns right away. Yeah, Neffy, but you're probably talking about one that's made out of cloth, right? Not an actual taxidermized bear. Now, let's hear what this secret of yours is. What if Mr. Corrida had been successful in his plan? What would he have disclosed? Told you before, dude. I don't know. I don't know anything about Juan, okay? Look, Mr. Wright, I can keep on saying it until I'm blue in the face, but I totally didn't pay Juan any attention the whole time that night. Monotone, thank you so much for the resub. Welcome back, and happy Thanksgiving to you as well. Well, Haretsu, or it would just turn him into a Heartless, if Kingdom Hearts 1 is to be believed. I mean, come on, I was in the middle of a nap. Don't lie to me. Huh? I know you paid close attention to Mr. Corrida, especially on that night, and I believe it's going to be the spy camera. Someone used this camera to secretly film Mr. Corrida's room the night of the murder. Secretly film? What? And then sent the images the camera took with this transmitter. Wow, but dude, where was this camera you're talking about hidden? It was hidden inside the stuffed bear. Take that! The spy camera was hidden in this bear's eye. A bear that was supposed to be a present from a fan. Huh. I guess Juan had a few of those kinds of fans too, huh? Actually, I wouldn't say this bear was a present from a fan. You sure, dude? Who else could it be from? The person who gave this bear to Mr. Corrida was... you dingus! Well, Mr. On Guard, Hold on a sec. I'm gonna ask my mom, okay? She says that I can't be friends with someone like you. Go home. If you don't go away, I'm gonna call the police on you. What? I'm gonna say this bear was a present from... Oh! Who was it from? Okay, it wasn't the receipt that was supposed to prove it. Although the receipt could have proven it as well. But I see what they're asking for here. It was a present from you. Mr. On Guard, don't you know this bear from somewhere? Yeah, it sure was, wasn't it, Hiretsu? And I'm only 1.5 games in. I don't think I've ever met Mr. Bear before, dude. Oh, but he says he knows you. How could you forget such a great... Oh, wow, Phoenix, the sarcasm. What else did the bear tell you? He said that the one who put the camera in his eye was you, Mr. On Guard. If I didn't know how you work in court, I'd think I was in some serious trouble. Come on, this is all a joke, right, dude? You're just pulling my leg. Looks like you're not ready to give up your secret yet. Well, do you have any proof you want to show me first? Here is proof that it was you who put the camera inside the bear. Now we need the damn receipt. Take that! I have here one credit card receipt, Mr. On Guard. It's from when you bought that stuffed bear. Dude, all you can tell from this is that I spent $3,800. I go to that department store all the time, okay? This $3,800, this could be the toothbrush I bought that one time. A $3,800 toothbrush. It's ivory, and it's got elephant hair for You piece of absolute shit! Buying ivory and elephant products. Edgeworth, can we just send this guy to the chair right now, please? I'm done. I'll drop his case. Ew, elephant hair? Is that what rich people use nowadays? Anyway, the store clerk clearly remembers you and your purchase. After all, you even gave him an autograph, did you not? Dude, you should have said that earlier. So can I ask you one thing? Yes? You're my lawyer, right, dude? So if you are, then why are you looking into stuff like that? Because if I don't know the truth, I can't help you. Sounds more like stupid lawyer talk to me. Hey, let's stop talking about this, okay? No, you are not weaseling your way out of it this time, asshole. No, not yet. Haven't asked you why you set the camera up yet. And what your secret is. Of course, it would be strictly confidential. So, what are you going to do now? I'm going to find out what I want to know because I must. Morteferu, what's that one line from, what was it, Fable? Fable 2, I think? Something about how if you give a peasant tons of money, he'll buy bread until he's full, and then he'll realize that there's other stuff to buy besides bread, or something like that. The reason you hid this camera in Mr. Korida's room and filmed it in secret is to see this get left. Take that! Yes, Random Purrs, it is now. What is this card? Maybe he doesn't know about this card. This is a certain man's calling card. The man's name is Shelly the Killer, and I'm sure you know of him, don't you? Shelly the Killer. That's ridiculous. Why would I know some shady scumbag like him? Oh, so you do know him. If you really don't know him, then why are you acting so jumpy all of a sudden? This is it. I'm finally starting to get the truth. I can't afford to make any more mistakes now. Oh, they hit you with a hard penalty if you mess this up. Mr. Mad on Guard, I know why you know Mr. the Killer. It is because you're his client. Since you're the one who set up that camera, that means you knew. You knew exactly what was going to happen in that room. So how? How would you know something like that? It's because you're his client, that's why. You hired Shelley D. Killer to assassinate Mr. Juan Corrida. The real mastermind behind this whole murder is... you, Matt on guard. Here I was trying to be a good boy for you, dude. I thought if you didn't know, you'd be able to do your job without feeling bad. Well, that's what I thought anyway. Mr. On Guard, you really did hire... Hold on a sec. I'm gonna consult myself, okay? Consult myself? Well, I guess it's probably about time anyway. About time for what? Think it's time you knew... damn it, why? What? Oh! How do you do, Mr. Lawyer? I'm Matt on Guard... Wow! What a state change! And where the hell did he... It's just Dracula! Where the hell did he get that glass of wine? Now he's gonna throw it on the floor and tell us that men are just miserable little piles of secrets. Look at this. And he is literally a miserable little pile of secrets. Well done, Mr. Wright. Bet it wasn't easy to gather as much information as you have. You really? So you are Shelley D. Killer's client? You didn't really think I would dirty my own hands in this, did you? What do you mean? And that woman, Adrian, was quite brave herself, trying to stick the crime on me. I didn't think she had it in her. But all I care about is that Juan is dead. Isn't that right, Mr. Lawyer? You're lying! What a terrible... It's way past your bedtime, little girl. Go on and let us grown-ups talk about more adult things. But why? Why did you hide the video camera and... A weakling soon believes the words of others, just like that pathetic Adrian. He knew about Miss Andrews' secret? But I'm no weakling. I don't believe anyone, least of all assassins. What? Oh, come now, Mr. Wright. Assassins aren't above blackmail. They turn their clients into cash cows by holding the sinful deed over their heads. And a superstar like me, how much do you think I'm worth? Care to guess? And that's why? Yes, that's where the video comes in. It's got his face and the crime scene recorded on it, preserved for all time. With that, I can keep him at bay and even blackmail him if I would. Oh, the video was insurance. It was a counter-blackmail in case the killer were to try to blackmail On Guard by revealing that he had hired him. Okay, my god, this web of deceit is a lot wider than I had originally thought it was. Yeah, he sure is, Matt. Of course, what On Guard didn't take into consideration here is that it might not be such a good idea to try to blackmail an assassin. Because an assassin's solution for being blackmailed, especially if he knows who's blackmailing him, is to assassinate the guy. So this is a dangerous game that On Guard is playing here. That's right, that video is my insurance. Isn't that what they call it, Mr. Wright? Why would you do something so wrong? Because I'm a grown-up and I can. Good enough of an answer for you, little girl. Why? Why would you kill Mr. Corrida? Because he was about to sling so much dung onto my beautiful public image. Scandals are a little annoying, aren't they? This is all because of that press conference, isn't it? If Mr. Corrida had been able to give it, then Mr. On Guard's secret would have... Yeah, well, that's what we call taking advantage of the situation, you know? I had no interest in doing it, really, but bit by bit it crept up on me. And then the situation just presented itself perfectly. How beautiful, I thought. And that's how Mr. Corrida ended up dead. Let me tell you something. I'm not like Adrian. I don't depend on anyone. People are simply things to be used. Used and thrown away. Ah, that would explain quite a lot. Hello, Slice, welcome. Put on a sweet, innocent face and people will swallow anything you feed them. Adrian fell for it, the assassin too. Oh, and how can I forget? Even you fell for it, Mr. Lawyer. Everyone all working their butts off for me, mad on guard. Oh, did that leave you speechless? What a shame. What's wrong, Mr. Lawyer? You've grown awfully quiet. How could I have been so deceived by you all this time? When we first met, I asked if you had killed Juan Corrida. You answered very clearly that you hadn't killed anyone. Hey now, I never told you any lies. The person who did the killing was that D-Killer guy, right? All I'm guilty of is taking a cat nap in my room. You killed Mr. Corrida. Huh, I dare you to say that in court tomorrow. Oh, but too bad you can't. You're my lawyer after all, aren't you? Could always drop my case and refuse to represent me. How does that sound? But you can't, can you? That would be the one thing you absolutely can't do. Mystic Maya. You wouldn't want to test the killer. He's a man of his word, or so I hear. You could end up getting a certain friend of yours rubbed out if you lose. You scoundrel. So if I were you, Mr. Wright, Esquire, I think I would give it my all tomorrow. Remember, everyone likes a happy win-win resolution. Well, no, Rockethead, it's because he himself didn't do the killing. He paid someone else to do it. I'll get you for this! That's such a cliche phrase. Well, On Guard's right about that. Juan said something just like that, if memory serves. Of course, well, we all know how well things turned out for him, don't we? Good night, Mr. Lawyer. Maya, what am I supposed to do? Well, we rescue her. And now you finally found it. The starting line of this case. Edgeworth? I don't care for the horrid atmosphere here. Let's return to the precinct. Yeah, because the atmosphere here is so much better. No, Haretsu, we find and apprehend him. Yes, Random Purse, he does. Well, right, what are you gonna do if you plan on changing your strategy? No, we can't do that. That's right, he's holding Maya hostage. What should I do? That's not something I can answer for you. Mr. Edgeworth. Right, only you can decide where to go from here. 1 year ago, at that time... Ano Tokiwa. I didn't truly understand what a prosecutor was. And that is why I had to leave the prosecutor's office. I felt that I couldn't stand in a court of law until I knew what a prosecutor really was. And now, Wright, it's your turn. My turn? What is this thing you call a lawyer? What can you do as one? You must find the answer, and you must find it on your own. Alright. I'm a lawyer, but to fight for someone who is clearly a killer... Mad on Guard, that man is really... Ugh. It doesn't matter who. Every person deserves a proper defense and a fair trial. Isn't that the basis of our judicial system? Not in Japan, it ain't. And hell, often enough, not even in the West. Proper defense, but what exactly is that? Is it where a lawyer forcibly and blindly gets an acquittal through shouting and trickery? Ironic that you of all people should say such a thing. Isn't that exactly how you have fought for your clients up to now? Well, that may be true, but that's... That's because I believed my clients to be innocent from the bottom of my heart. But if I were to get on guard and acquittal, that isn't a proper defense at all. I became a lawyer because I thought I could save people who are suffering and in pain. But when I look at this mess we're in, I can't even protect the person closest to me. Even though she's just a freeloader who always wants hamburgers. Even if I win this case, I still lose in the end. I just don't know what to do. Right, would you get a hold of yourself? You have it all wrong. Huh? We aren't some sort of heroes, we're only human, you and I. You want to save someone? That's something easier said than done, wouldn't you say? You're a defense attorney, you can't run away from that. You can only fight. That's all you can do. People like you and Franziska von Karma are always using all you have to pin me down. You fight to the very end, even when you know the truth is not with you. But I'm not like you. I can't fight for a false verdict, for a man I clearly know to be guilty. Franziska, she fights for herself. The only thing she fights for is her perfect win record. That's all. And? Isn't that the same as you? Isn't that why you ran away a year ago? Because your precious win record was destroyed? You're so petty. I see. Now I understand why you despise me so. However, you're mistaken. What do you... Thanks to you, when you sealed off my path to a perfect win record, I began to realize the error of my ways. I realized that things such as a perfect record were meaningless. Unless you're doing a speed run. What? I don't believe you. Are you saying that's why you left the prosecutor's office? But then why? Why are you here now? The answer to that is something you'll find out on your own. I have faith you'll see it before the verdict is read tomorrow. But if you can't, then you'll be powerless to change the ending of this story. Mr. Nick, the transceiver. I'm sorry for what happened earlier. Now then, Mr. Attorney, do you wager you can obtain an acquittal tomorrow? My, what's the matter, Mr. Attorney? I don't sense your usual anger this time. Tell me, please, why are you holding Maya hostage for Mr. Engarde's sake? Why are you doing this for that cold-blooded killer? Right. Please don't misunderstand things. He's my client. Don't toy with me. A man who hires an assassin is just as much of a killer himself. I believe you were asking me for a reason as to why I'm doing what I am. Yeah. This is what I like to call my aftercare. What the heck is aftercare? My name carries a certain amount of honor and dignity, Mr. Attorney. I take great care to ensure that no suspicion falls upon my clients for my handiwork. That is what is called client relations, and it is part of an assassin's duty. An assassin's duty? We were unlucky this time, and my client was arrested as a suspect. As a result, I did what I had to do to enlist your expert help, Mr. Attorney, and to ensure that you would do everything in your power to the very end. What is your name? I believe I told you once before, however, you did, but my name is DeKiller. Shelly DeKiller. You're Shelly DeKiller. Please keep in mind you do not have much space to maneuver with me. As a DeKiller, I always finish what I set out to do. If you fail to keep up your end of the bargain, Maya, it would be my duty as an assassin to see to it that she receives a nice long nap. No! Well, this one purports to, Darkseid. Now then, if you'll excuse me. If someone were to trace this signal back to me, it would be quite troublesome. Uh-oh. Meow, huh? I don't know what to say. Edgeworth, huh? Did you hear that? At the end of that transmission. Huh? Oh, that. It sounded like a cat. A cat? It can't be. That cat, can it? What is it? I think I know where Shelly DeKiller is holding Maya hostage. Edgeworth, have all police units head for Matt Engarde's house immediately. Alright, you hurry over as well then. Don't lose hope yet, Pearls. The fight has only just begun. Yeah! Alright, well... Man, this is a missed opportunity for the game to be playing the Cornered theme from Ace Attorney 1. Well, hell, away we go then. Maya! Please answer us, Mystic Maya! We have this area completely surrounded. There's no way for him to escape. Assuming he's still in the area. Can't believe it. That butler! All this time, he was DeKiller. He and Engarde were working together all this time. I'm sure they had worked out a contingency plan ahead of time. Well, that bear is now right in front of the door. There's a small door at the bottom of this bigger door, Mr. Nick. That it's for the cat to use. Oh, you mean shoe. Oh, whoops. Oh, it's a figurine of a bear. But there are a lot of cuts in it for some reason. Wooden bear-shaped figurine. It's covered by many thin cuts. Bear? Isn't that more of a thing for Mr. Corrido? Why would something like this be here? Right, look down. There's a little pet door installed there. I'm sure that's for Shu. You think that this came out through that little door? Ah, this door, it's locked. Well, I'm pretty used to breaking doors down by now. Let's go, Edgeworth. Ah, there's no one here. From the looks of this room, I'd say this is Engarde's private lounge. Look at this, right. An antenna for sending and receiving radio signals and a VCR. Check inside the deck. If there's a tape, it would be an important piece of evidence. If we're lucky, it'll have the moment the crime was committed recorded on it. I'm sorry, but the tape deck is empty. There's no tape. Yeah, they bailed out. No, but there's no mistake that someone used this to record something. It looks like someone took the tape we're looking for and escaped with it. Freaking great. Alright, well, if they escaped, then they probably took Maya with them, but... Yep, she's gone. We've searched all over, but it looks like he got away. I'm sorry. It looks like he slipped out of our grasp this time. And now we've lost our only lead. Don't give up yet. That little girl is looking to you to be her pillar. Yeah, you're right. We're close, I can tell. We've already set up checkpoints along every route leading out of this district. Leave the rest to us. Thanks, Edgeworth. For once... Well, not for once. It's not the first time, but... Maya. So there's this photograph. This looks like a picture of Ms. Impax. With love, Celeste. Ms. Impax? You mean... Yeah, Mr. Corrida's former manager. Why would a picture of Ms. Impax be here in Mr. Engarde's mansion? And why does it say with love? This might be a clue. Ah! What's wrong, Pearls? Please let me see that picture frame. Huh? What's so special about the frame? On the back, there's something written on the back of the frame. Maya. It's Mystic Maya. She left us a message. What? I thought you'd come. I knew you would. Now listen up. You better got Engarde a guilty sentence, okay? If you get that creepy slime bag and not guilty, I'll never forgive you ever. I'm fine, so you don't need to worry. There's so much I want to write, but I don't think I have a lot of time left. This is a really big picture frame, or she's able to write in really tiny letters with a pen that she mysteriously got from somewhere. Pearly, you're there too, right? Make sure you help Nick, okay? Someone's got to watch out for the helpless lunk. That's it for now, Nick. Why does it always skip the last line? What is going on here? No! Mystic Maya! Right! What's wrong? Why the blank stare? Oh, nothing. I've searched the house and this is the last room. It looks like he eluded us. Edgeworth, yes? As far as clues go, I think this is about all I'm going to get. But I'm still short one last thing. And what's that? Miss Andrews' psych lock. If I could just find out what secret she's holding, then I think I stand a chance in court tomorrow. To blow this case wide open and expose the truth. I think I know what you're thinking. I'll contact the detention center. Thanks, Edgeworth. Wait a minute! Edgeworth, you're not... He's not thinking of having her interrogated. Is he? Are they gonna torture Andrews? To get that information out of her? There's no way. It's time to open that last lock. Yeah, I guess. Oh, okay. There. Good evening, Mr. Wright. What's wrong? You look ill. Miss Andrews, I've come to remove your psych lock. Psych lock? I want to know, and you will tell me, your secret. Fine, go ahead. Try to break me if you can. Yeah, we're gonna... Oh, Horrible Hog, I just saw what you wrote. Yeah, we'll overlook that. Okay,
Take that!
why frame him? Can you please tell me why you framed Mr. On Guard for the murder? I already told you countless times it's because I thought Matt was the killer. No, that's not it. I know you have a personal reason to dislike Mr. On Guard. Ms. Andrews, you may think I didn't hear it, but I know you said something earlier. You said revenge. So you're saying I was taking my revenge out on Matt, and that's why? What an absurd idea. I don't have anything I want to take revenge for. A woman who lives by being dependent on other people. There is something or someone in her past that would make her take revenge. And I believe the implication of someone means we're looking for a profile here. And I believe it's Celeste Impax. Celeste. There is only one catalyst that could cause such strong feelings and even revenge. And that is Miss Impax's suicide. What are you trying to say? Celeste was Juan's manager. On top of that, the one who hit her suicide note was also Juan, at least as far as we know. What does all this have to do with Matt? You're right, you haven't mentioned him, yet. But for you to hate Matt On Guard, it would mean that he must have had some relation to Ms. Impax and her suicide. Can you explain to me this relation between Celeste and Matt? Yes, I do believe I can. I believe we just found it at his house.
Take that!
This is a photo of Ms. Impax, correct? She looks younger than when she passed away, though. With love, Celeste. This is Ms. Impax's handwriting, isn't it? Where did you find this? No, that's all right. It was a rhetorical question. Yeah, it is. I found this at Mr. On Guard's mansion. And after all this time, my last remaining secret has been revealed. Hey, Drax! I'm hanging in, thanks. How about you? Why frame him? Celeste, she was supposed to get married to Juan. Yes, but I heard it didn't work out. Because Mr. Corrida didn't want to get married to her anymore, right? Yes, because of Matt. Because of Mr. On Guard? What do you mean? I think I can see where this is going. Yeah, I think I can too. Celeste, she was Matt's manager a long time ago. She was the happiest woman in the world at the time. I was working part-time back then, and I often saw the two of them together. So that's why. With love, Celeste is written on the frame of that picture, along with a big doofy message from Maya, apparently. Nice, Drax. You having people over for Thanksgiving? There were a couple, weren't they? Wasn't anything as splendid as that. Celeste was being used. Toyed with until she was thrown away. That's so horrible. Matt's entire image is built around how nice and wonderful of a man he is. A scandal would have destroyed that. Which is why Celeste, in her kindness, moved over to Worldwide Studios. And that's where she met Juan. She seemed really happy with him, even happier than when she was with Matt. Celeste and Juan were such a good match that they were even planning to get married. And then it was suddenly called off. On the night Juan called their marriage off, Celeste, she killed herself. And that's why I framed Matt. It was revenge for Celeste and myself. Sure, even you can guess why Juan called the wedding off, right? Matt confessed to Juan about his relationship with Celeste. I see. So that's what happened. Oh no, damaged goods. Boo-hoo. But then why did Mr. Corrida have to call off the wedding? I don't understand at all. was probably because of his worthless male pride. Juan and Matt were always fierce rivals. Matt waited for the wedding announcement and then unleashed the truth on Juan. He was aiming for when it would hurt Juan the most. Poor Ms. Impax. That wasn't the end of it. That day, I'm almost certain that Celeste left a suicide note behind, and in that note she left a detailed account of Matt's various misdeeds, and so that she would never again be hurt by Matt, she chose to die. Then, when Juan discovered her body, he hid her note. But why would he do that? It's simple. Juan realized that note was a powerful weapon against Matt, and it would be especially damaging to his refreshing like a spring breeze image. In any case, with his pride hurt, Juan sought revenge. Revenge, there's that word again. Juan wanted to publicly disclose the contents of that suicide. Oh, that's what he wanted to confess. At a time that would cause Matt the most damage, of course. And that was at the press conference after the stage show. I know all about it because I heard it all from Juan. It was so I could find out all about this that I drew close to Juan to begin with. They're quite a pair of hideous monsters, aren't they? Even Celeste's death was something for them to use in their game. Yeah, I mean... That night, when I found Juan's body, it was only natural that I thought the murderer was Matt. Those two were always spying on one another, after all. As for me, I was frantically searching for Celeste's suicide note. I wanted to destroy it before it ever went public. I was going to burn it. I'd even brought a lighter. Professionally speaking, Hedgehog games, no, they shouldn't. That's like a doctor sleeping with their patient. Professional-wise, it's a very, very big no-no. Oh God, Drax! Yeah, that sounds like a lucky thing your uncle's not in. 8 adults and 3 kids is manageable. But I couldn't find the suicide note, and that's when revenge crossed my mind. Yeah, I was going to bring them my own kind of cruel revenge. Celeste was killed by those 2 monsters, so when I stabbed Juan's body with that knife, I didn't feel a single shred of guilt. And that's all I have to say. Well, Mr. Wright, even knowing all of this, are you still going to help that man? I'm a lawyer. I see. What a foul profession. Thank you very much for your time and for talking with me. It was no big deal. I couldn't sleep anyway. I can't sleep either, not with Maya's situation or with what I know now. Damn. Yeah, I do believe we will save. We'll put this right here. It is going to be a giant powder keg, Rockethead, especially since there's a hostage involved whom we have yet to save. God, what a mess. What a mess. What a just ridiculous web of intrigue. Well, yeah, in some ways I can't blame her either, Slice. What she did was wrong, but now that we know why it actually happened and what her reasoning was, it's a little bit easier to feel some sympathy for her. And to feel less sympathy for Juan, even though he got killed, and to now know that Matt is the actual villain behind all of this. It certainly has, Haretsu. It most certainly has. And actually, let me just... I was just going to say, let me just check the time. 8:24 p.m. I think it would probably be wise for me to find somebody to raid at this point, because I've got a flight to catch at about 11:30. And I definitely do not want to miss that. So I think what we're going to do... I think we're going to go raid Sugar Crow, who still appears to be playing Pokemon Yellow. I think she would really appreciate having us stop in and make her night. And if you guys haven't already dropped into one of her streams, you should, because she's really sweet, and I think you'll really like her. She is one of my viewers and also one of my friends, and I think she's definitely the best candidate I have on my list right now for people whose night we would make a lot better by going to show some love. So let's do that. Thank you all so much for joining me. I will be out of town for the next 5-ish days. If anyone needs me for anything, I probably will be on Discord, at least intermittently. I will have access to a computer, but I will not have the ability to stream while I'm visiting my family. So I'll try and keep on top of things as best I can, but I will be back probably Sunday, if all goes according to plan, and after that, regular streams will resume, I swear. So thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope you all, those of you to whom it applies anyway, have a great Thanksgiving, and those of you to whom it doesn't apply, just have a great next 5 days. Take care, everyone, and I will catch all of you then.